More people showed up at Workers' Party rallies than ever before. Huge crowds, selfie lines stretching down the block, and a campaign described by its own leaders as the best in WP's history. Yet when the final vote count came in, nothing changed. The ruling party not only won big, it expanded its dominance. So what really happened, and what does it reveal about Singapore's political reality? Welcome back to 2230, where today we're breaking down one of the most important post-election questions. Is the Workers' Party at a political ceiling it can't break through? Or is this part of a longer game that could reshape Singapore's future? Let's get straight to the numbers. The People's Action Party swept 87 out of 97 parliamentary seats, improving on its previous showing by securing 65.57% of the vote. That's a significant jump from 61.24% in the 2020 general election. Meanwhile, the Workers' Party held on to its 10 seats, Aljunied GRC, Sengkang GRC, and Hougang SMC, but failed to gain any new ground, despite contesting 8 constituencies with a high-powered slate of 26 candidates. WP Chief Pritam Singh acknowledged the reality on the ground. In a post-election walkabout at Badak Reservoir Food Centre, he noted that while the party is small, it delivered its best. Singh said the team never assumed public support, whether online or in crowds, would automatically translate to ballots. And he was right. Because while WP rallies drew attention and energy, the real challenge was converting emotional momentum into hard electoral math. Take Jalan Kayu SMC for example. WP's Andre Low lost by a razor-thin margin, just 48.53%, to PAP heavyweight Ng Chi Meng. In Tampines GRC, WP garnered 47.37% of the vote, a highly competitive figure in a PAP-dominated ward. Both results were among the strongest for opposition candidates outside of WP's core zones. Yet they weren't enough to flip seats. And that highlights a deeper issue in Singapore's electoral landscape. Opposition gains are incredibly difficult to achieve under current conditions. In fact, many other opposition parties were completely routed, with PAP winning some constituencies with over 80% of the vote. Against that backdrop, the WP didn't just hold its ground, it stood alone as the only viable counterweight. In Aljunied GRC, Singh's team, featuring stalwarts like Sylvia Lim and Gerald Jayam, alongside newcomers Fadli Fauzi and Kenneth Tiong, retained their seat with 59.68% of the vote. In Hougang, WP's vote share rose slightly to 62.17%. And in Sengkang GRC, they maintained a solid 56.31%, even after significant candidate reshuffles and political pressure. These numbers might not look explosive, but they tell a story of resilience. WP didn't collapse. It didn't get swept away like others. It maintained its core and introduced new names into parliament: Fadli, Kenneth, and Abdul Muhaimin. These 3 new MPs are not just replacements, they're a sign of leadership renewal and generational strategy. Sylvia Lim called the overall performance an opportunity, not a setback, and she might be right. The near wins in Jalan Kayu and Tampines earned the party 2 non-constituency MP seats. That means WP's voice in parliament may still expand, even if not through direct election wins. The party hasn't confirmed if it'll accept the NCMP roles, but it's likely to keep its presence active across debates and policy scrutiny. Meanwhile, in high-stakes GRCs like East Coast and Punggol, WP performed respectably, crossing the 40% vote mark against top-tier PAP ministers like Edwin Tong and Gan Kim Yong. These are no small feats, and if you track the last 3 election cycles, you'll notice a consistent trend: WP is not shrinking. It is stabilizing and playing the long game. But here's the bigger question: can that long game ever lead to serious breakthroughs, or is the opposition boxed into a permanent minority role under current structural and political dynamics? Pritam Singh touched on this during his remarks, saying the PAP will do everything it can to halt the rise of the opposition. But he reaffirmed WP's mission: to offer voters a credible, responsible, and forward-looking alternative. He stressed that building a more balanced political system isn't just good for democracy, it's in Singaporean self-interest. And that's where the real conversation begins. WP's results this year show that while it didn't grow in seat count, it succeeded in establishing continuity, building up future leaders, and maintaining credibility where others faltered. But whether that's enough to shift the national mood, or just maintain status quo, is a debate still unfolding. So what do you think? Are Singaporeans ready for a stronger opposition presence, or are most still voting for security and familiarity? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you value detailed, grounded political analysis, don't forget to like this video, share it with your network, and subscribe to 2230, where facts lead the way, and your voice matters.